Hi, my name is Mahesh, and today I'm going to demonstrate ServiceBot, a chatbot developed with Amazon AWS and Slack. So the use case I'm going to present today is of a industrial house Acme who has a challenge of equipment downtime. So they use the industrial equipment like excavators, and it takes several weeks to order replacement part. And of course the coordination between the different entities is a challenge. So we will see how Slack helps this address this challenge. So what I have here is a landing page of ServiceBot where we have an area where you can try this. So how to use ServiceBot? So first of all, you need to sign into Slack in your team. So I have created this team here, which is basically just created, has a couple of channels, and I'm the member. Then you have to sign in into a Slack team. You have to visit this page and hit add to Slack. Once your team is registered, you will see over here I have a couple of teams registered from my previous test, so you can see the team here, and after that we can initiate the workflow. So I will start with this process of adding ServiceBot to the Slack. Here it asks whether you want to give access. So I have multiple teams. I select HCME, and these are the permissions. With the OAuth 2, it is asking what permissions ServiceBot would like to access. So I authorize that. Okay, so this is a confirmation that the bot has been added to the team, and I can see it over here. My team is over here. So you can test it in the similar manner. Just go and sign in into your Slack team, hit add to Slack, and you should see this. Now what I also have here is the setup. So basically this is the ServiceBot which I have just showed you. Then I have in the backend, I have the API gateway, several of them, and then the Lambda functions behind them. I also have an IoT client which is subscribed to a topic, and in the behind the scenes I have also the DynamoDB for persistence. So right now I have these things there. Now I'm going to hit send alert to my team, and any temperature above 34 is going to hit a notification. So I have posted the message, and I see already Slack has started coming, but before that it has gone to IoT, and the IoT has processed this data. Since temperature exceeds the threshold, it has kind of fired the Lambda function, and the Lambda function has invoked Slack. Now what has also happened is once I registered my team, you see also I have got a couple of channels added, the site engineers, the buyers, and operations manager. These were not there before. ServiceBot has added these channels, and if I go and hit site engineers, I see the message. The alert is provided with the data which is relevant to the equipment. So in this case, it talks about the details of the equipment, what is the design or the operating temperature, and what is recorded, and also some trend history. So this is an example. Of course, you can connect to your legacy or your existing enterprise software and get rich information from here. It is the bot is also asking that, okay, based on this alert situation, we need to order a coolant pump, and to that extent, do you want to see vendor parts? So the site engineer responds by saying yes, and Slack processes this response and gives you a list of options. And these are the parts which are the approved vendor parts, and again it has the data which is required, like for example the rank of that particular vendor, and also the model and what is the feedback for that particular model, and the technical specification, whether it's availability, its price. So essentially all the information required for a engineer to make a decision is there, and also for the other vendor the similar data is provided. And if there are two actions here which are suggested, he can recommend either the first vendor or he can recommend the second vendor. So moment I hit recommend, it's going to again record the information. So I hit recommend, the site engineer is going to recommend the first one. This is the confirmation, and the request is processed, and you see the confirmation is also recorded that this data is there. At the same time, if you see the buyer, he has got a notification. So the buyer is another role. In this case, I have assigned myself both the roles, but in reality there will be different people accessing the different channels, and the buyer sees the data here, and the important thing is also requires he has the required information that okay, this particular vendor has been recommended by engineering. So this updated information is there along with the other data. So based on this, the buyer also takes an action in the workflow, and let's say he goes with the second vendor. So I hit recommend and hit yes, it goes to the second vendor. Now while this is processed, the next step is going to go to the operations manager, who is the final approver of this. And I have this same thing also on my app, so I'm going to go, which is really the Slack app is really useful, and it has the similar interface. So the operations managers has also received the notifications in the app, and I'm going to hit approve here. So whatever we see here, yeah, so he has got basically the information from engineering, and he has information from purchasing, and then he has the actions. So basically based on all this data at one place, the decision making becomes so simple, and that's basically the power of chatbot. Now I'm going to hit approve, and once the approval is there, it will be processed, and the data is updated here. So you see operations managers has also approved. So this essentially completes the workflow, and you can kind of imagine the simplicity and the power of having all the information at one place. So this little bit under the hood, what has happened is that we have used I have used the Amazon Lambda API gateway, AWS IoT, and then of course for authentication I used several APIs, OAuth2, Events API, post message, interactive messaging, and chat updates. So I have kind of adopted the best practices from both the platforms and build this application. Hope you like this, and thank you for watching this demo. Thank you.